Got the Aaron Rodgers situation in Green Bay. You got Le'Veon Bell in Pittsburgh. Let's start with Rodgers. If he cannot move around the pocket the way he accustomed to doing, if he is not his usual athletic, dynamic self, do you play him week 2 against the Vikings?
Well, I think you got to err on the side of caution. If you're the Green Bay Packers in this situation, listen, as football players, we are taught either you're hurt or you're injured. And we clearly saw from Aaron Rodgers in the Chicago game that he was hurting. He came back eventually. But if it's a situation where over the week this injury stiffens up and gets progressively worse, why risk your franchise quarterback against the Minnesota Vikings?
Critical divisional home.
Listen, I understand it, but if he can't move back there and he's a sitting duck against one of the best defense in 2017, would you want to put your franchise quarterback back there? I think if you're the Green Bay Packers, you got to think big picture. If he's not able to do the type of things he's able to do.
They brought him back in the Bears game because they said he couldn't do any more damage to whatever it is that he's got.
No,
why would that be different now?
Well, I can tell you that's not true. I mean, you can do a lot more damage to your knee in that particular situation. I think Aaron Rodgers alluded to it in the game. Adrenaline is something crazy for a lot of athletes. You come in, he got the adulation from the crowd, and he was able to make all those plays. But what tends to happen is after you have these type of injuries, the day after, the couple of days after, these things, your legs start stiffening up, you're not feeling the same. So it's going to be critical what type of treatment if he's, can start bouncing back from this.
The Vikings are the team that knocked him out last year with
correct.
that injury as well. You know he's going to want to play, though, right? So
you have
to take his helmet away from him.
Listen, he's the ultimate competitor. It's going to be awfully tough for the medical staff to take his helmet away. But, Green, if he can't move,
right.
Okay, that's the critical part of Aaron Rodgers' game.
I agree with you.
If he can't move, then you can't risk putting your franchise guy back there.
An unhealthy Aaron Rodgers is better than a healthy Kaiser, though. That's the problem.
But it's week 2.
It's week 2.
The point is it's week 2. And if you lose him, you heard Rob Domofsky say it, it will be vultures circling around as the Vikings knock him out for the season. I'm surprised you said it. I was ready to disagree with you, but you actually took the right position on this. All right, now let's go to Le'Veon. The Steelers, I don't care what the numbers said, their offense was sloppy and bad in Cleveland. I get the weather and all of that. How much of that is about Le'Veon? Is this becoming a locker room issue that is having an effect on the field with Pittsburgh?
Well, listen, all the talk, you hear all the players and everything talk about Le'Veon. The one thing I was always taught as a player, guys who are not here, you can't worry about those guys. And the Steelers, they kept talking about it all week. So in my mind, I'm thinking, boy, that's not good. That is not good for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward because you got to treat him like he's injured. He didn't sign his franchise tag. He's not there, so he's not part of the team right now. So if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's all about James Conner. Listen, he had almost 200 yards from scrimmage in that game. He wasn't an issue. It was Big Ben and his 5 turnovers in that game that was the issue, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if I'm Mike Tomlin, we're not even bringing up Le'Veon Bell anymore. Until he reports to the facility, I don't want to hear Le'Veon Bell's name in this facility anymore moving forward.
How do you avoid that, though? I hate the whole blame the media thing, but that's something that we're going to ask about. So how do you avoid talking about it when it's the #1 story about your team?
You focus on the game. You don't have to talk.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Exactly. Take a page out of Bill Belichick's book. We're on to the next opponent. You don't have to keep feeding into what the media tries to feed you.
I think that the fact that they took his name off the depth chart is exactly what you're talking about. He's not here. We're not talking about him. Until he shows up, he's not even a part of what we're doing. I think you're exactly right.